dead, you hear me? Alright, you wanna dance? Let's dance!
What's going on, guys? Krazydav here. Shout out to RustyPop for sponsoring today's video. A link to them will be in the description below for you guys to check out. And now, let's get on with the video. Ah, Rust. A beautiful game. All about survival of the fittest. And also sometimes working along with friends and teammates. It has such a clean and respectable community for it. Everybody in game is so friendly and non-toxic.
I have some anti-gay spray.
Why are you altering your voice, my dude? You're trying to be funny because you're on the internet or what?
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Okay, it's a little toxic. Actually, a whole lot toxic. You know, there used to be a good old time. A nostalgic time. The good old days of Rust when things like this didn't really happen. When people actually communicated and just actually worked as a team. Instead of all of that. So I hunted down an old build of Rust that still had servers and was actually playable. And it was just as beautiful as I remember it seeing other YouTubers play it. I never had the time to play this version of Rust. I got through the early stages of BP and XP, and then my Steam account was unaccessible for a long time. And then I finally got it back, and it wasn't as old and nostalgic as I remember it. Playing this really felt quite amazing. It's like any other day in Rust. You spawn on the beach with nothing but a rock and a torch. And now what do? You start off grabbing materials that you can. Rock, stone, wood, and everything. Now the reason why I'm not using in-game audio is because my microphone was not working correctly as the current time of recording this. And when recording this, my mic was extremely staticky and could not understand anything I was saying. So I will voice over the first part of this video before it had major issues with recording my voice. I had just gotten onto this server. By the way, if you want to actually play this, I'll leave a Discord to how you can play this and its availability. All the servers are online. You should be able to just go to the modded section and you'll be able to play it. So basically, starting off, I collected what I needed. Rock, stone, wood, and other materials such as cloth and everything else I could. And then I started getting my stuff together to build a base. And I actually was amazed on how the old UI looked. And I remember when I played the early ages of BP, how it used to be and how choppy and weird it was. But it honestly felt cool and nostalgic seeing it again. And the fact that making a blueprint to build a base actually needed paper instead of just wood. So you had to craft the paper out of wood, which basically was the same thing, just an extra step. Now I built my base pretty simple, a 1x2 with a airlocked door, and honestly it felt harder to build in this version for some reason. I felt like it costed more materials. For the amount of stone I harvest, I never had enough to finish the base, nor amount of wood. So I had to keep frequently looking for stone and wood to complete the base. It actually took a while to get 1,000 for a TC, when in the new version it honestly took minutes to get down to 1x2, not a few 10 minutes. So I came across my first AI, a boar. So I kind of thought it was going to be easy to get this thing killed, and well, it was a bit weird. As you seen there, it kind of walked up the mountain and all these rocks here, and when I saw this, I was completely confused. I knew the animal AI was going to be different from the day, but I didn't know it was going to be that different. And I never really got to go kill that boar until later on when it was kind of stuck and frozen. So eventually I did fix my headset to a degree where it would actually record my sound somewhat.
run forever.
And yeah, here's the audible part. Yummy.
So good and tasty?
Yes. Earlier I mentioned before that bases felt like they took more materials, and basically everything felt like it did. One of the main reasons was because there was no just one specific stone node. There was only sulfur and metal, in which both gave stone, so it was kind of a 50-50 chance of getting one or the other more. I forgot that you need a key. Oh, that's right. I do well remember this now. You need a key and able to open your own doors with the normal wooden locks. Back then, it wasn't just as simple as locking the door and it knows that it's you. You have to have your key on you all the time, or you will not get in your base. Now again with this part, my mic audio did not even record one bit, so I'll just be filling you in with some voice recordings. And I'm sorry if this is starting to feel like a well-in video. Yeah, I kind of figured. I had come across a semi-stone base, only a little bit was made out of wood, and I noticed this furnace was sticking out the wall. Maybe there was something in it, but there wasn't. So I kind of peeked around and noticed that the whole base was just kind of open, so I actually went ahead and claimed this. So I went back to my original 1x2 and gathered all my materials and items that I've achieved earlier and decided then to transfer them in a new base and put a new door and a lock on the new base and go ahead and claim it. Inside my new base laid all my loot, and I already started smelting my metal fragments, but I noticed at the back that the furnace was still kind of poking out, and I couldn't pick it up or move it because it wasn't that advanced yet, and basically anybody would be able to loot from it. So basically I started to block off that area with another layer of stone wall that I couldn't access, but maybe make it into a little type of vault where I keep all my special items, move it to my furnace, and use it for good keeping. That night, I had gotten off. The next day, I just continued back where I was in my new base and decided to go exploring this time. I wanted to go check out what power plant was. I've never explored that. Before I ventured off over there, I decided to go check out my old base. I took the lock off and made it open for anybody and put the sign of free base on it. Well, it doesn't look like anyone really touched it except for picking the door off completely. Yikes. I had gotten sidetracked, and I found a base that was semi-decaying from a player not being online for a while, or being raided before. So I checked it out. Yeah, I can definitely pick that out. I got back on my quest to go check out what the power plant was, and it was something pretty neat. It was like train yard and water treatment all in one. I would eventually go back to that base and try and pick it out and look for materials here to try and help me do that. What if I jump down there? Is that a bad idea? I feel like that's a bad idea. I feel like I break my legs or something. Says that as jumps off the side of a frickin' thing and breaks legs and doesn't have anything to patch himself up with. Unfortunately, I mindlessly jumped off the side and broke my legs. This didn't help because I was cold and wet, and nightfall would come soon, making the problem worse. There was nothing there, but on my way going back to my base, I found this weird structure, and it's something that wouldn't be built today. I stopped my recording for a little bit, and unfortunately, I did die from the cold. I had no idea where I was, nor which way I was going, So I tried to go back and find my stuff, and I bumped into
Hello.
somebody though.
Hi. Hey, come on now. We gotta be toxic, really? Just trying to make friends.
A toxic player. Somebody from the new community. This was somebody that probably hasn't played this version and just
Everybody's
being as it
around
would
Dome,
be in
man.
normal Rust.
Everybody's at Dome.
No. There's only 6. I'm not gonna hit you again. Why is everyone here? Where is everyone?
The majority of everybody is at Dome.
That player finally buggered off, and I tried to go back from where I died, and I finally got there, and where my body was supposed to be at, it was nowhere to be seen. Had to have been somewhere around here. I had looked around too much. There wasn't much I can do. I just gave up.
I looked around too much.
I committed suicide in chat and just decided to end the video off there, giving off one last final closure. Man, old Rust was so simple, so beautiful. And just a tad bit broken. I really enjoyed this Rust. I never got to experience it. It was fun. It was beautiful. I wouldn't mind coming back. Very simple. And that was the end of my experience for the day. I hope you all enjoyed. I really enjoyed making this video and getting to play old Rust and seeing how the mechanics and everything has changed over the past couple years. Thank you all so much for watching, and again, thanks to RustyPod for sponsoring this video. Again, they're in the description below for you guys to check out. And as always, I will talk to you all later. Oh, and Wellen, I'm sorry.